So this is your next topic, origin and destination studies. So generally what is meant by origin? Origin is nothing but it is the location where a trip begins. So trip here means it refers to, for example, if you want to have a trip, if you want to go to your college in the morning, one trip includes your travel from your home to college. So that is described as one trip. And again in the evening, if you want to go again back from your college to home, that is that can be termed as a second trip. Okay. Now here, origin is nothing but it is a location where a trip begins. It is described in terms of street address, a monument, or a well-known location, an office building, a school, or anything, a street intersection, or a district. All survey origins have been geocoded for precision. Next one is your destination. Destination is nothing but is a location where a trip ends. It has similar attributes as the trip origin. For example, if you want to go to a college from your home, then origin will be your home and destination will be your college. But again, in the evening, if you want to go back to your home, college will be your origin and destination will be your home. So in the morning trip, the origin and destinations are different, and in the evening trip, the origin and destinations are different. Okay. So now origin destination describes both ends of a single trip. Single trip here means from your home to college, it is a single trip. Okay. This term is commonly abbreviated to OD. So here OD survey or OD data, if anybody says like that, that refers to origin and destination. Okay. Next, trip or person trip. What is meant by trip means it is a single or one directional movement of one person from one point, that means origin, to a second point, that is destination, for a single purpose. For example, the commute from home to your workplace represents one trip. The example which I have told you just now, that is referred as one trip. Next one is modes. So we have different modes of transport. Okay? For example, if we are very nearby to our workplace, we can go by walking. If somewhat more distance means we can go by cycling. If even more distance, we'll use a motorcycle. And if it is even more long, we can take a school bus or uh, public transport like government buses or rail transport or auto rickshaw or something. So there are different modes of transport for a single trip. Okay. Next one is modal share. Modal share means it is nothing but it is a proportion of trips by any given mode out of the total trips by all the modes for a given time period. So, for example, if in a entire day, in a 24 hours, what is the proportion of trips by a given mode? That means how many people are traveling by bus, how many people are traveling by train, how many are using their own transport. Like the different modes that we are calculating the share of different modes. That is modal share. Next one is your purpose. Purpose describes the reason that the trip is made. So why you want to uh, make that trip? Okay, trip purposes compromise work or work related, going to work or going somewhere outside one's normal place of work to conduct business. That is your purpose of trip. Next one is your household. Household is the basic analytic unit of the survey sample. So if you want to make survey of origins and destinations of different people, basic unit of the survey is your household. Okay, like someone they may come to your home and they can inquire how many people are there in your home and what places you are going. Like your father may be going to his own office, your mother may be staying at home or maybe working, your brothers or sisters they may be going to their schools or something somewhere else, and you might be going to your college. Like that, each and every person of your household will have different purpose of their transportation. Different trips will be made by your house members. So that's why household is a basic analytical unit of survey sample who live together in the same location, whether you all are related or unrelated. Okay. Next one, origin and destination surveys. What is the definition is? They provide a detailed picture of the trip patterns and travel choices of a cities or regions residents. That means if you want to know the origin and destinations of your entire city, that means mostly Hyderabad people where they are visiting. whether they are visiting Chennai or Mumbai or Delhi, whatever city. Okay, that trip patterns you need to calculate. Or a region. Region means, for example, if you stay in Gandhinagar and if you want to know the trip patterns of all the peoples in that particular region, okay, then that is called a region wise OD survey. Okay, these surveys, what they'll do means they'll collect all the data related to the households and also the individuals in the households and the trips made by them. Okay, this information allows the stakeholders to understand. The first one is travel patterns and characteristics. So what are the travel patterns of the household members? They'll measure the trends and also they provide input to travel demand model development and also forecasting and planning for area-wide transportation needs and services. Next. And last one is your progress in implementing the transportation policies. So now, what is the purpose? Why you have to do the origin and destination study means in a transportation study, it is often necessary to know the exact origin and destination of the trips. It is not only necessary to know how many trips are made, but also group these trips with reference to the zones of their origin and destination. So origin and destination means, for example, if you want more number of people are traveling from a particular place to another place, and the number of city buses or the government RTC buses are very less in that area. After this survey, they will propose that they need to be increased. Okay, so that the government will try to increase the number of trips in that area and it tries to increase the number of bus facility. Okay, that is the purpose of this origin and destination survey. Not only this, it includes many other things. Other information yielded by the OD survey, it includes land use of the zones of origin and destination, household characteristics of the trip making family, and time of the day when journeys are made. This is also important. At what time you are leaving and what time you are returning. For example, if you are a software employee, you may be doing some night works, like you may be leaving at night and you may be returning at home morning in the morning. But if you are a normal 9 to 5 working person, or if you are going to schools or colleges, then your time of the day, the journey when you made is in the morning times, like that. What is the purpose of the trip? Whether you are going for a recreation like movies or parks or any other things, or whether you are making the trip on a regular basis for your workplace or something. So this is the purpose of the trip you are making. The last one is mode of travel. So what mode you are using? Whether you are using a metro rail, or whether you are using bus, or whether you are using a normal auto rickshaw. Okay, everything they comes under the mode of travel. So here you can see hierarchy of the transportation modes and grouping for reporting. Urban transit, that means it is urban transit. School bus, they are grouping under other modes. Paratransit also other modes. Mini buses, they come under urban transit. Auto driver, auto passenger, motorcycle, taxi, bicycle. So all these airplane, rail and train, intercity or chartered bus. So all these are different modes of transport. The specific objectives to which OD survey data can be put are to determine the amount of bypassable traffic that enters a town, thus establish the need for a bypass. Okay, I'll again repeat this point. To determine the amount of bypassable traffic, that means so many people they may come to this particular town with the help of highway, but if the number increases, then if the for a town to another town which is very nearby, then if you provide a bypass, it will be easy for them, because on the highways only four wheelers are majorly traveling. So if you provide a bypass, what happens means the two wheelers and autos and small vehicles, they will divide into the bypass and they can easily go. So that is a uh, need for OD survey objective here. The next one, to develop the trip generation and trip distribution models in the transportation planning process, and to determine the extent to which the present highway system is adequate and to plan new facilities, to assess the adequacy of parking facilities and to plan for also future. Okay, parking also it is taken care by this. Okay, next one, Here you can see a small figure at the top right, sorry, bottom right hand side. So these are nothing but, for example, this is your study area, and for this area you want to know all the origins and destinations. Okay, the origins and destinations can be related to zones. Okay, whether there may be towns, big or small, it usually necessary to define the external cordon lines, which are imaginary lines. For example, this is a circle here. This is imaginary. There is no circle like that. But for our survey purpose, we are imagining an line over there, which is called external cordon line. And using in within this boundary, our study area is there. Okay. For checking the accuracy of the survey data, it may be necessary to have the screen lines, which are imaginary lines dividing the area into parts. So this within this circle, this is also imaginary, and this is your external cordon line. And within that, you need to divide all the areas into small parts. Okay. And if the screen line divides the area into two or more equal parts, more screen lines means more accurate data. Sometimes even more physical features are considered as a screen line, like rivers, canals. If there is any river like this, that river you can consider it as a screen line, and you can divide the area into two different parts. Okay, that side of the river and this side of the river, like that. Now here, this is more important in this topic. So OD survey, we have different types of techniques. First one is your home interview survey. Second one is roadside interview survey. Third one is postcard questionnaire survey. Fourth one is registration number plate survey. And fifth one is your tags on vehicles. Let us see home interview survey. It is nothing but here you can see home interview, the picture. So the surveyor will go to the households of people. That means if there is 10,000 households, he'll select on an average like ratio. If a map is there, what we'll do? The original size is around 10,000 kilometers is represented like 1 centimeter in the map. Like in the same manner here, for a 10,000 households, we'll select 1 to 10 households for our survey. Here you can see that. For towns with population in the range of 5,000 to 7,000 external internal cordon surveys, they are more appropriate. So here we'll go to the individual houses here. The information on household characteristics, it includes the number of residents. So how many people are there in that particular household? What are the ages of the people? What are the race, vehicle ownership? How many vehicles are owned by that particular family? Number of drivers and family income, like this, so on. So all these are surveyed in the home interview survey. So here population of the study area. If your study area population is around 45,000, that means which is less than 50,000. For every 10 households, you'll study one household. Okay, you'll go to only one person's house among the 10 households. That means for in a street, if there are 10 households, you will select only one household, like that. If the study area is increased, that means if it is more study area, then population is around 50,000 to 1,50,000. Then for every 8 households, you will go to survey one household, like that. Here you can see the diagrammatic representation. So for every 3 households, you are selecting one person. So like that, if there are n number of households, only a few households only you are going to go to their home and survey. Okay. By reference to that, you will calculate the origins and destinations, and going to know about the trip details. So if there are over 1 lakh population, that means if population is more than 1 lakh, then you can survey 1 in 20 households, like that. So what details you are going to survey, that is represented here. The information to be collected from home interview survey is classified under two groups. It is household information, journey data. Household information, it contains address, size of the household, of household, earning members, how many members are earning in that particular household, number of motor vehicles owned by them, household income, etc. So after gathering all this household information, you also have to inquire about the journey data. So journey data means it all the journey made during the previous 24-hour period. That means you need to ask them in the previous 24 hours what are the places they visited, what are the purpose of each and every trip made, and mode of the travel used for that trip. Okay, so all these details you need to collect from the particular household. So in the right hand side, it is diagrammatically represented here. How this is a home interview survey. There are 4 members in that household, and what are the different modes of transport they have used for their trip. Next one is your roadside interview survey. So roadside interview survey is one of the methods of carrying out a screen line or cordon survey. Roadside interview can be done either directly interviewing the drivers of vehicles at selected survey points or by issuing prepaid postcards containing the questionnaire to all or sample of the drivers. For example, if you want to do the survey on a particular highway section, so at that section on the left side, you need to select randomly some road users. You can't stop each and every person and you can interview. Only a few people you selected people are can be interviewed. So in that interview, um, what are the details you need to interview means from where he is coming, what is the origination of his trip, what is the purpose of his trip, okay, where he is going, what is the destination of his trip, okay, what is the speed he is what speed he is going, what is the mode of transport he is using. So everything you need to interview, and both the directions also you can do the interview at different times. So if the survey covers most of the day, it may be sufficient to interview traffic in one direction only and to assume that the journeys in the opposite direction are same as the direction interview. For example, if time is not sufficient for you, only one direction you will make the survey and you will assume that whoever are going in the same direction will return from the other direction and you will take the data like that. Next one is postcard questionnaire survey, and next another one is registration number plate survey. So here in this method, reply paid questionnaires are handed over to each of the drivers or a sample of them at different survey points and requesting them to complete the information written by post. So at different junctions, you'll go and you'll distribute the postcards. Okay. And in that there will be certain questionnaire. Okay. From where they are coming, where they are going, what is the purpose of their trip, like that. So many questions you will be asking in that. Okay. This method avoids delay caused to the drivers by direct roadside interview. Roadside interview means if a person is going somewhere, it is very urgent for him. He can't wait for you and give the interview. So he'll be in his own busy. So it will save the time to the driver. Directly he'll take the postcard and he'll go to his home. Whenever his free time is there, he'll answer all the questions in that postcard and again he'll post it back to you. So by that you can gather all the data. Next one is a registered number plate survey. So it consists of nothing the registration numbers of vehicles entering or leaving an area. For example, if a survey point is there, so whatever the vehicles are entering in that area, you'll note down the vehicle numbers and again leaving the area. By matching the registered numbers of point of entry and exit from the area, one is enabled to identify 2 points on the paths of the vehicle. Okay, like this is your registration number plate survey. So at the entry point of your survey, if you find the vehicle number like this, and again at the end of the survey, exit point, if you find the same vehicle, then you can know the details of those two vehicles. Next one is your tag zone vehicles. Here in this method, at each point where the roads cross the cordon line, vehicles are stopped and a tag is affixed, usually under a windscreen wiper. The tags for different service stations have different shapes or colors to identify the service stations. The vehicles are stopped again at the exit points where the tags are removed. The times of entering and leaving the area may be marked on the tags in order to enable the journey times to be determined. So like that, you will be uh, tagging on all the vehicles. Okay. Next one is accuracy of OD survey data. Is usually cross-checked with the data appearing on screen line and coordinates. So this is just a case study. Just to have a look at it.